Hey, what's up, family? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, man? This is Chief Kalanago with another video. I know it's a little late, but hey, listen. I keep telling y'all I go with the flow, right? I just do these lessons and I do these videos when the spirit moves me. Okay. So we have a lot of information that we're gonna go through, but I'm gonna make an attempt not to be on here too long. So let me just make sure I'm good on Facebook. Make sure I got audio. Information that we're gonna go through. All right. Facebook is good. Let me make sure I got audio on YouTube. All right. While I'm doing that, I want to acknowledge the great spirit, universal intelligence, universal source, the great I am, universal all, what we call God. All right. One definitely want to acknowledge that essence. I want to give thanks and honor to my ancestors. Because of them, I'm able to do what I'm doing. They graced me with the information, and I'm here to bring it to the people. All right. By no means, like I tell people, I'm here to, talk bad about any ethnic group or to put any other ethnic group down. No, that's not the point. My purpose is to teach my people, okay, who were miseducated, mistaught, lied to, and the ancestors, grace me with the knowledge. All right. And I have done extensive research. I'm talking about going on 20 years of information that I'm now pulling out of my archives and bringing it to the people. All right. So with that being said, I'm honored, I'm highly favored, and I know that any weapons formed against me will not prosper because I know my ancestors have guided me and protected me. And of course, there are many people in my life, spiritual advisors, who got me. They definitely are looking over me. So I'm humbled. You know what I mean? I like to put this disclaimer out there. Anybody who makes an attempt to hurt me intentionally, I do not forgive. Okay. I put them in the hands of my ancestors and the universe, and I ask the universe to let them deal with that karma 10 times fold, because I don't play this forgiving stuff. If you're going to sit around, premeditate hurting me, all right, in any form or any fashion, then I let my ancestors deal with you and your next 7 generations, all right? So I don't play that stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to talk to you this evening about, some of the transition of how we as the American Aborigines, because of video, let me turn this thing off. Give me 1 second. Because of video and film and pictures, okay, we were able to be whitewashed, not just from what we call paper genocide, but also from the visual arts, okay? So let me hold up. Give me a second, guys. Let me just go on YouTube real quick. I want to make sure I'm good on YouTube. All right. Give me 1 second, please. Thank you so much. I know I should have done that before, but it's all right. I'm good. Thank you so much. All right. So we good. Okay. So I'm going to show you a little, kind of like a little short film, nothing too long. All right. That you'll get the picture yourself. Then I'm gonna make my commentaries on that. Then from there I'm gonna break a few things down. Then when I'm done with that, I'm gonna go into a little bit about the $5 Indians, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the Dawes Rolls. I'm not gonna go too much in detail with that, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of history on that. Then when I'm done, I'm going to talk about I'm gonna tell you who the first man that ever reached the North Pole. I'm going to tell you who that was. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Matthew Henson. They call him an African American, but is he African American? That's what I'm going to prove to you, that he was an American Aboriginal this evening. And so we have a lot of information to go through. So guys, like I said, teach our people, our children, the truth about who we are, our story. Let's not continue to put our story in the hands of his story. Okay, because his story is not our story, although we could find some of our story in his story, because our story is a mystery, and I'm revealing the mystery to you guys. So let me go ahead on Facebook and share that information. Of course, I don't have the copyright. I don't own the video or the audio you're about to see, but I'm practicing or exercising fair use for educational purposes only. So I'm about to share this with you right now. Let me go to Facebook and share this, okay? Now, guys, don't forget to go to the website, okay, www.ipnan.org. That's the website that we have, and we have lots of information on there, okay? People are seeking information, and we have a website for you, just so you know. So I just put that in the chat. Let me go ahead and share this with you. And another reason why, okay, apart from us having to step up as the original people, I'm gonna tell you why I'm going extra hard, okay? Because I have a lot of pale natives coming into my inboxes, and I don't appreciate that with the disrespect, okay? Talking about, what percentage of your DNA is native. What you mean? We are the original people. So we don't have a percentage of anything. We are the real thing. You see, and y'all come, and send me friend requests. All right. And you guys come like you come in the name of love and peace. But then you come with these subliminal messages. You see what I'm saying? And even before they send me a message, I'm good at reading, people's energy. So as soon as somebody send me a message, even if there's a subliminal message in there, I'm telling you guys, I feel the energy from where they're coming. So I have to put a few people in their places. So my goal is to expose, okay, all the lies, okay, all the, how would I put it? The usurpation, when people usurp our identity, I'm going to expose that. I'm going to expose the thievery, okay, them stealing our identity. I'm exposing all of that. Now, guys, check this out. Let me tell you how deep I go with my information. That's why none of them could come test me. You see, you feel me? They cannot test me because I have film documents. I'm going to pull stuff I have had for literally over 15 years, okay? I'm going to pull video, okay? I'm talking about video archives from the early 1900s. I'm talking about 1900, 1905, 1903, okay? Where they were showing American Indians. And I promise you, those American Indians, they don't look nothing like these natives today. I guarantee you that. So these natives today, they cannot mess with me, period. I'm not the one. I'm the one who's going to shut all this down. I'm telling you, watch. I'm going to shut everything down because they mess with the wrong one. I keep telling people my ancestors sent me here, and y'all just don't know, but y'all going to learn. Y'all going to learn. I got those videos, some archives. Y'all don't even know. You don't even want to know where I got it from, but I'm telling you, I got it. Well documented archives from the US government in the early I'm talking about 1901, 1905. Okay, here's the thing. Those American Indians, dark skin, almost looking black. Okay, but they are a mix of look like Negro and kind of like Mexican with the Mexican hair. You see what I'm saying? Like they look like the natives that people have on posters, but the dark color, okay, with the kind of like the chinky eyes kind of thing. I'll tell you how that came about. Okay, those people are a mix of the American Aborigines and Spaniards, okay, that came into the Americas, predominantly Central America, Mexico, all those places. All right. And that's how the transition started taking place from the American Aborigines mixing with those people, okay, to look like the original Indians. And then they started whitewashing them to what we see today as the natives. So family, it was a gradual process that was well sorted out. You feel me? Well planned out. Hey, listen, if you ask me, it was brilliant. That's why I tell people I don't hate nobody. Okay? I cannot hate the players because it's all a game. I never hate the player, but I got a problem with the game because they did what they had to do. So these natives sitting around, okay, acting like they're us and want to come question us and disrespecting us, I'm not going to stand for that because I got everything to expose them. You see what I'm saying? Because I got the film from 1901 showing who the Indians are, and they literally got our complexion. The only variation, like I said, is in the eye features, where they look a little chinky, almost like Asian looking. But I know how that happened. So now these natives of today, they're going to have to prove to Chief Kalinago how they became pale, when in the 1900s, those Indians were still dark-skinned. And we could take it even further back, going back to us who are the Aborigines. You see what I'm saying? So I know how it all happened. I know how it all transpired. And they're going to have a very hard time when we step up. I promise you that. So let these current natives keep playing games with me. And I'm going to shut y'all. I'm going to expose y'all. Because now it's getting personal. Y'all coming into my inbox and disrespecting me. And I'm not going to stand for that. All right? So let me show you this little film real quick. Real quick. Okay? Give me 1 second. Y'all want to play these games? Watch. And I always got facts to prove what I prove. Y'all could just talk, but I got the facts. Hopefully Facebook allow me to play this. All right, give me 1 second. Hold up. I got people sending me inbox messages. Let me just kind of close that out here for a second. All right, good. Let this screen populate, guys. And let me tell y'all something, man. I'm just passionate about what I do. So that's the passion in my voice. You feel me? I'm not upset. All right. Just so y'all know. Okay. That's just the way I flow, period. All right. So let me see if Facebook is going to allow me to share this. I know I hit share on there. I think I did. Oh, you know what? Let me go back here for a second. I'm not sharing. Give me a second. Go ahead and share this on Facebook. Share. All right. Let's see. Let me see if Facebook is going to allow me to share this. All right, there we go. Okay, so guys, pay attention to this and listen to this. And I'm going to break this down. Let's get into some work right now.
Sit. Wait. What? We cannot break bread with you. Huh? Becky, what's going on? Wednesday. You have taken the land which is rightfully ours. Years from now, my people will be forced to live in mobile homes on reservations. Your people will wear cardigans and drink highballs. We will sell our bracelets by the roadsides. You will play golf and enjoy hot hors d'oeuvres. My people will have pain and degradation. Your people will have stick shifts. The gods of my tribe have spoken. They have said, do not trust the pilgrims, especially Sarah Miller. Gary, she's changing the words. And for all these reasons, I've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground.
Now, check this out, right? That's an assimilation of the natives that they have today. Now, let me ask you a question. How in heaven's name, pale Europeans could fight other pale Europeans saying you stole my land? How could a pale European steal the American continent from a pale European? That's what I want to know. You see what I'm saying? Like, these people are the same ethnic background. They are the same Europeans. But no, let me rephrase that. They're all Europeans, but different ethnicities. Okay? Different variations of pale Europeans. So it's like it's like me telling somebody that's already in the Americas, an Aboriginal, oh, well, you stole my land. It's our land. The point I'm making is it's pale people telling pale people they stole their land. Those are $5 Indians. And I'm not here to disrespect nobody. That's not the point. I'm not here to call anybody names. But I'm showing you the picture, all right, and how our people, it is so hard for the American Aborigines to see themselves as the original people of the land because of the pictures that was implanted, the education. And that's called cognitive dissonance. It doesn't matter what you show them. They know it in their spirit, and their grandmothers told them that. But they just can't envision it. Because when a picture was painted for so long. That's all you can see. That's all you can see. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys this. Let me play it again, because to me, this is hilarious. Okay, they got the same complexion, same pale people, saying you stole my land. But I'm going to break down and show you the etymology of what a pilgrim is. Okay, we'll get into this. Give me a second.
Wait, what? We cannot break bread with you. Huh? Becky, what's going on? Wednesday! You have taken the land which is rightfully ours. Years from now, my people will be forced to live in mobile homes on reservations. Your people will wear cardigans and drink highballs. We will sell our bracelets by the roadsides. You will play golf and enjoy hot hors d'oeuvres. My people will have pain and degradation. Your people will have stick shifts. The gods of my tribe have spoken. They have said, do not trust the pilgrims, especially Sarah Miller. Gary, she's changing the words. And for all these reasons, I've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground.
Again, to me, this is hilarious. I just want to show you guys that, because so in this little play, it mentions pilgrim. Let us go look at the etymology of the word pilgrim. Let us get into this. Okay. It is a mockery of our ancestors, disrespecting us. That's what it is, if you ask me. But at the same time, a lot of them are living that as their reality. Let us go look at the etymology of pilgrim, because I want y'all to know not every Caucasian is a pilgrim. So you have to realize the plan that was put in place, family. That's why I tell people I'm a wordsmith. Okay, you have to look at this from so many different perspectives to bring the truth to light, because in every lie there's a little bit of truth. You feel me? Now let us look at the etymology of who a pilgrim is. Pilgrim, 12th century, 1200th century, right? 12th century. A pilgrim in the 1200s, a person traveling to a holy place as a penance or to discharge some vow or religious obligation, or seeking some miracle or spiritual benefit. Also, a traveler, generally a wayfarer, from Old French pèlerin. All right, peregrine or pilgrim, a crusader, a foreigner, a stranger. Okay, now let us just scroll down just a little further. All right, the change of the first R to L in most Romance languages is by dissimulation. The M appears to be a Germanic modification. Pilgrim Fathers, English separatists who crossed the Atlantic on the Mayflower and founded Plymouth Colony in Massachusetts in 1620. It is attested by 1799. They sometimes wrote of themselves as pilgrims from 1630. All right, in reference to Hebrews, whatever. Okay, Western slang for an original settler. Now, let us break this down a little bit. Okay, not every so-called pale individual is a pilgrim. And that's how these natives are getting away with these things. Because even when, okay, they talk about white people and free white people or enslaved white people, Mongolians and certain classifications of pale people are not considered white. So that's why they're able to call the white man just like them, but a different branch, so to speak. The same root, but a different branch. Okay? Just like how we are all of the Negroid stock, but we are different branches. The African is different from the American Aborigine, different from the Australian Aborigine, different from the Asian Aborigine, but we are all of the Negroid root. Is the same thing with pale people, okay? They are from the same root. However, they have different branches. So therefore, the natives could call certain factions, if I may, or certain ethnic groups of so-called pale people, call them white and don't classify themselves as being white. You have to see and know exactly where the trickery is coming. But I promise you, okay, if you do a DNA test of them and those pale people from Europe, they have the same genetic makeup. They have the same genetic makeup. That's why when they were doing the Dawes Rolls, they were not doing it by blood quantum, because it would contradict what an American Indian or who an American Indian was, which is the Negro blood and not the African Negro. The African Negro is Negro de Guinea. The American Indian Negro is Negro de Terra. Both Negroes, but different branches of that root. So that is a pilgrim, but not every pale individual that came here was a pilgrim. I just wanted to point that out. Okay? Let me go ahead and share something else with you guys. Give me 1 second. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Dawes Rolls, right? Just a little bit. I already did a video on that, so I don't have to go in detail with that. Okay? Give me 1 second. And yes, absolutely. Like I told y'all before, the United States has never won a physical war against the Indians. Go ask them. Go ask them. And I'm talking about us. We have never lost a physical war. All right? Let us look at the, pretty much the Dawes Rolls. Now, I already, broke that down in a video, but I'm just going to kind of like, just for the purpose of this lesson, I want to talk a little bit about it. Okay? The Dawes Rolls, also known as the final rolls, okay? Pretty much that was the final call to make the determination who an Indian was. It's like going to a bar and they say last call for alcohol. They're about to shut it down. So the Dawes Rolls was that, okay? The Dawes Rolls, also known as the final rolls, are the list of individuals who were accepted as eligible, okay? Eligible for tribal membership in the 5 civilized tribes. Now, a lot of people hear about the 5 civilized tribes thinking that these people are the Aboriginals. No, they are not. Okay? The 5 civilized tribes, whether you call it Cherokee, Creek, Choctaw, or Chickasaw, or Seminoles, all right, the version of what they have, okay, they are revised Indians. They are refined Indians. Okay? They are what we call play Indians. They are not the original people. I just want y'all to know that. Now, the 5 civilized tribes compared to what? Uncivilized tribes. There are many tribes that are not civilized. Why? Because they didn't want to sell out. And you will find out the majority of those that are not civilized, they are so-called Negro people. Why is that? But you don't hear anything about that. Nothing whatsoever. And I've showed you in videos, many videos of these people speaking the truth, whether it was intentional or not. The point is, out of their mouths, they said that their grandmothers were Negroes, so-called black women, dark-skinned women. So the 5 civilized tribes, Cherokee, Creek, Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Seminole, all right, even if they are still tribes, so to speak, where original people were a part of, but because of the Dawes Rolls, they literally took out the original people, and what they did was they created new constitutions, all right, and new treaties with the United States. Okay, making the Aboriginals exiled. Hence, Martin Luther King said what? The Negro is exiled in his own land. That's an extension of the American Aborigines, the original American Indian being exiled. But it was all done on paper. All done on paper. And that's facts. So when these people are coming at us with all this aggression, is because, I'll tell you why, is because they know that the truth is coming out. all right? And not too long, everything that they have will be taken away because it wasn't theirs in the first place, okay? They were not the ones who were supposed to have the casinos, all right? They were not the one who was supposed to be going to colleges for free. They were not the one that was supposed to be getting $10, $15, $20,000 a month per family member. It wasn't them, okay? That would have been too much power for the Negro. So they had to replace us, family, okay? Because the actual Indians, or rather known as American Aborigines, which is us, all right, we have been since been blamed by the government, all right, for the mismanagement of our trust in other people's names for over 120 years now, okay? And the US government owe us billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, for the genocide and the Holocaust of our people. But I'll tell you why we cannot get it. Because too many of our people walking around here, running around here, calling themselves Black and African American, thinking they came from Africa on a slave ship. A lot of you refuse to step into your proper status, which is American Aborigine, American Indian, the original one. In fact, there's only one original one. Okay? That is the problem. We have to hold these people accountable. Okay? And I'm talking about this confusion and this dispute. It goes back way past 1887. Because I'll tell people this. If you look at all my videos, when I'm teaching, I give facts. Okay? I give information, researchable information where you could do your own research. And I'm going to tell y'all again, up until the late 1800s, mid to late 1800s, all the nobles and kings in England, queens and queens in Britain, they were still, the Britons were still so-called Black people. Okay? I'm going to tell y'all a little secret today. There's a difference between the Britons, the British, okay, and the English. Now, pay attention. When during the American Civil War, which had nothing to do with us, mind you, okay, because we were not considered civilians. We were American Indians. They changed and gave our names freedmen. So you're thinking a freedman is an ex-slave. No. Some of them, yes, but the majority of the freedmen were the American Indians, the original one. And part of the deal was, like I said, they couldn't enslave us because why? There was supposed to be three powers: the United States, the Republic, and the Iroquois Confederacy. The Iroquois Confederacy represented the freedmen, the free Indians. That was supposed to be the deal. So when the United States, when I'm talking about the United States, what they call America, because they just call everything America, when America, aka the United States, which we know the United States is not America, but I'm just saying the way they want us to look at it, all right? When they were fighting for their freedoms, they were fighting Britain, which was the Black kings. They were fighting from their freedom from their Black masters in Britain. Don't believe the hype, family, of what they're telling you with these stories. So, this beef or dispute goes back way past 1887, when Congress made the Interior Department the trustee for approximately 145 million acres of Indian lands in America. Okay? It was done through a trust. I'm giving y'all the information. Please do your own research. Okay? Now, what they call Black Indians, again, I'm saying what they call Black Indians, okay, or so-called Black Indians, or rather us, okay, the Aborigines of America, we were supposed to be the ones benefiting, but the government gave the majority of the land, okay, to legal tenders. Pay attention now. Those are legal terms. Like I told y'all before, they didn't beat us physically. They beat us on paper. Because this whole system of governing or governance or commerce, we were not used to that. So they tricked us on paper with these contracts. Guess what? With the help of these so-called black people that came here to help enslave us. Because they were the ones who first came here. Okay? Also, not just legal tenders, but tax reliefs and other federal specialized benefits that so-called white settlers, not just the pilgrims, these damn natives as well, okay, who paid off citizenship, administrative organizations. That's what the Dawes Rolls was about. That's why I caught that conversation with the Cherokee Nation in Oklahoma, and I had him spill all the beans. You could only be an Indian through the Dawes Rolls, not through your blood. Only through a governmental organization. They decided, they made the determination who an Indian was going to be. Why do you think they had to stop using the term American Indian and use native? You think Obama didn't know what he was doing? Obama wasn't my president. Obama is not one of me. He's not one of us. Okay? Now, in order to become members of what is known as the 5 civilized tribes in Indian territory by Congress. That's why I showed you what the 5 civilized tribes comprised of. Okay? Now, pay attention. These so-called white settlers who became natives, eventually, they sought to reap the benefit of our birthright. We, the Aborigines. In fact, one example of that would be the complexity of how successful but openly, fraudulently they did that, family. Okay? In 1895, the so-called white settlers were informed of what benefits the Indians were entitled to. They had a meeting about that. Okay? They speak in codes. They had a meeting to say what type of benefits the Indians would have gotten. All right. So what they did was, and they traveled to the Dawes Rolls Commission to inquire about having their names enlisted on the roll cards for full-blooded and or freedmen, Indians of American lands. That is conspiracy. That is a fraud. Okay? And if y'all refuse to come together so we could unite and do what we have to do lawfully and legally, that's on y'all. But all I could do is give you the information. I'm playing my part. I'm putting the organization together. I'm putting things in place. It is up to you to say, hey, Chief, let us make this thing happen. I cannot force you to do anything, but I'm giving you the information that they cannot debunk because it's too much facts. It's just too much facts. Okay? Also, it played an important role with determining which Indian tribes would get land allotments and other benefits that detailed earlier in return for abolishing their tribal governments and recognizing federal laws. In order to receive the land, individual tribal members first had to apply and then be deemed eligible for the commission. Once again, the reason for the Dawes Rolls that made it legal in their institutions. Okay? The commission to the 5 civilized tribes was appointed by President Grover Cleveland, and that was in 1893, all right, to negotiate land with the Cherokee, the Creek, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, and the Seminole tribes. Okay? It is commonly called the Dawes Commission after its chairman, Henry L. Dawes. Okay? A Caucasian man. Now you tell me, a pale man, a Caucasian man, okay, is responsible for creating the Dawes Rolls named after him, but you're trying to tell me that he's going to do the right thing, right? Come on, man. Let me see if I could pull up a picture of this dude, man. Let me see if I could pull up a picture of this dude. Because y'all think this is a game. Let me see if I could pull this up. Give me 1 second here, real quick. 1 second. Pull that up. Let me see if I could pull up a picture of this culprit. Okay? An image of this dude. All right? Let me pull up. Let me show you. We got a picture of this dude right here. This dude was the one they named the Dawes Rolls after. So you tell me how was it possible for these pale Europeans to be now natives? You tell me. This is the dude right there. Okay? Paper genocide, family. Okay? Or now, eventually they wouldn't have a choice but do the right thing. Because you see, our people are waking up to the truth. And they know they can't get physical with us because they know the history. We have never lost a physical war. Even when they joined with literally the entire world to fight the original American Indians, they couldn't beat us. That's why they have to keep us dumb, uneducated, drunk, in ghettos with serving their gods, and keep us fighting each other because we are our biggest enemies. Okay? We are our biggest enemies. This is the dude they named the Dawes Rolls after. Okay? Him right there. And trust me, family, they had a lot of skin folk that ain't kinfolk that was part of that. And most of them, don't get me wrong, a lot of American Aborigines also played a part, but the majority of them was an extension of the 13 colonies when that was breaking up. And they are family and kin to the folks that came here, the Black Europeans, the Black Britons, and certain African kings or nobles that came here. All right? Literally, like Tupac said, it's me against the world, meaning that the American Aborigine, original American Indian against the world. Okay? So let me stop sharing the screen just to let y'all know I'm breaking this down for you guys. Okay? So he was the one they named the Dawes Rolls after, okay? The Commission to the 5 Civilized Tribes. And they had people coming in to sign these documents saying, well, you sign, you could be an Indian. After a while, people in that organization started taking $5 per individual so that they could become Indians. Okay? Now, in 1963, an episode of Andy Griffin's show, I put it in the link for you guys. Okay, you could look at it, talking about the Indians and talking about the Civil War and all that. All right, the main character's son named Opie was profoundly decisive when informing his great aunt, whose name is Aunt B, of some very intricate, persuasive details that he overheard from white settlers standing by. Now that may not have been the exact one that I gave y'all, but I did give you something where they were discussing information about the Civil War. Now, like I told y'all before, what you need to know about the Civil War. The Civil War had nothing to do with us Aborigines. It only became our plight after every other ethnic group got acknowledged or welcomed into the new society. We wanted to fit in. That was our mistake. But it was a little difficult because they were making life hard for us to live life. So it's like we had a choice not to be a part of it, but at the same time, we didn't have a choice, which is the same thing like that's happening today. You see what I'm saying? Same thing. Yes, you could still live a life and be autonomous, but to deal with their system, they want you to have a birth certificate, they want you to have a social, they want you to have all these things. All right, just so y'all know. Now, during the early part of the year 1902, the U.S. government reacted with a malicious intent in developing a separate freedmen list, okay, specifically designed to rule out all copper-colored Indians from receiving these newly established benefits by way of the federal government. Okay, they had to ratify, okay, the first they had to ratify the first freedmen list that they had to rule out all the copper-colored Indians, because they didn't want us to receive the benefits from the federal government. Family, man, a lot of you just don't know what we have been through. And y'all just think our story started with us coming here on slave ships. We got enslaved, we got beaten, and you know, we had to beg the so-called white man for freedom. No, it wasn't like that. When a lot of people, so-called black people, were enslaved, the white man was next to him enslaved as well. Because why? King George, King James, the people who set up the 13 colonies, they were all so-called black men. And I've shown you enough information to prove what I'm talking about. Now, while that was going on, okay, what's important to note that all that stuff happened, all right, through what we call, it was documented within the 1900 censuses, okay? All that stuff happened then. And so while that was going on, simultaneously, pale United States citizens were allowed to become and identify as Indians by paying the Dawes Rolls Commission a whopping total of just $5 for each white adult and a child to be listed on the Dawes Rolls. That's why. And like I said, when we bring our claim, I'm going to have these videos from 1901 and 1905 to show and prove. Well, you tell me, if the Indians look like that in 1901, how in heaven's name in 2021 they look pale as white toilet paper? You tell me, how did that happen? And don't tell me, please, it's because of the snow. Okay? Because I'm about to give y'all some more jewel. That Snow White, okay, was actually the first Snow White was actually a snow black, which meaning that it was the first black man, okay, who went to the North Pole. The first black man, the first man to ever go to the North Pole was a so-called black man. But they will not tell you that. He spoke Eskimo, he spoke the Inuit language, all right? And he was the first so-called black man, okay, to go to the North Pole. But they gave the credit to a pale woman, hence Snow White. Man, let me tell y'all something. Look, man, listen. I just don't want to boast and brag, but let me tell you, I know my stuff, okay? And I'm not making this up. I'm going to show you everything. Because everything is to discredit us. That's what it's about. Okay? So they paid $5 to become Indians. On April 1st, 1902, public notices were passed around detailing the other claimants can legally claim their cases for freedmen rolls. So they did a flyer. Okay, let me see if I can pull up this flyer for you. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I could pull this up for y'all. Boom. Let me pull this up because I don't want y'all to think I'm making these things up now. Don't want you to think I'm making it up. Let me pull it up. All right, let me pull that up for y'all. I hope they got the flyer here. Hold up. All right. I know I saw the flyer on I saw the flyer, but it's not coming up. I just clicked on it. It's not coming up. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me see if it's gonna come up. I didn't want to download the entire flyer, but if I can't pull it up, let me see. Let me see if I could blow this up. Give me 1 second. I should be able to pull it up, man. Let me just click on something else. Give me a second. Give me 1 second, guys. Thank you. Give me 1 second. Boom, click on that. Blow that up. Hopefully come up. And these people always want you to, to make you think like you're crazy when you're speaking the truth. All right. All right, here we are. Okay. All right, that's it right there. Okay, let me just pull that up. Let me blow that up a little bit. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay. So this is the flyer that they created. That's the flyer they created. Pull that up. And let me share this with you. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. Let me pull it up. Let me share my screen. I'm showing you guys everything that transpired, how it happened. I'm giving you the documents. I'm giving you the facts. This is not opinion. I'm giving you facts. Okay? Giving you factual information. So this is the flyer that was created. Okay, here we are. Pull that down just a little bit. It was a notice. All right, flyer created. Okay, and I'll read it for you guys. Notice, okay, Cherokee Freedmen enrollment. The commission to the 5 civilized tribes will continue in session at Muskogee, Indiana Territory, or in Indian Territory, pardon me, Indian Territory from April 1st, 1902 until May 31st, 1902. So they gave them literally about, I would say April 1st, May 1st, almost 2 months. Okay, so everybody could come and just be Indians. Okay, 2 months. We're doing a sale on Indians, $5. You want to be an Indian? Bring $5 and you pale. Guess what? You're an Indian. All right. Now let's read a little bit. Okay. Now, inclusive for the purpose of hearing rebuttal and supplemental testimony with respect to the enrollment of Cherokee freedmen. Notice is hereby given to all freedmen listed as the doubtful claimants that after May 31st, 1902, their cases will be considered as completed and will be finally decided by the commission and reported to the Secretary of the Interior for his approval. Native Cherokees, freedmen, or claimants by adoption who have not already appeared can apply for enrollment until July 1st, 1902. Okay, and that was the document that they were handing out for people to become $5 Indians. Okay, that's it right there. Now, if you realize, right, people of the likes like, Claude Anderson, they've been trying to get reparations for so-called black people for all these years, family. They're not going to get it. Because what they're not, I don't know if they know or they don't know. Half of them probably don't know that, first off, a lot of these so-called black people did not come here as slaves. Okay? This slave ship narrative they gave you, coming here roots in the bottom of slave ships packed like sardines, that's not true. And the United States government know that, so they're not going to give you reparations for that version of slavery. However, okay, a lot of them came here as indentured servants and then became enslaved. All right? Where do we get our win and how do we get our win? We have to get our win not from talking about we are descendants of slaves. However, we are the ascendants of the American Aborigines who became enslaved in our own land. That's how you win your lawsuit. With the paper genocide, the Holocaust of our people, it has to be inland. You claiming to be African, trying to get reparations, they know that's not true. So you will not get no reparations. It's a waste of time. All right? It's a waste of time. Now, let us go talk about the first man, okay? The first man to reach the North Pole. They said he was an African American, but I say otherwise. And I'll prove that to you again. All right, so let us go share the screen real quick. All right, let's go share that screen real quick. And when y'all ready for us to come together, like I said, I took my own money. I put the organization together. I took my own money. I created the site. Everything is there for everybody. All we have to do is come together, unite. I'm even going to get an attorney for our organization. I'm putting all that in place. If the rest is up to you guys, I cannot force you to join me. But if I have to do it alone, I'm going to do it for my ancestors. Okay? Believe that. All right. So let us read a little bit, because you know what? Reading is fun for the mental. Okay? Let the screen populate real quick. And they will not tell us about these stories. They will not teach that to our children. Okay? The only thing our children learn, oh, you came on slave ships from Africa. You're a slave. You beg us for freedom. Now, let us tell our children about our greatness. Okay? Let our children know that we were the original people here. Stop telling them these lies. That's why a lot of them have low self-esteem. All right? Oh, absolutely. The Kanasi tribes. You're absolutely correct. We shall rise. Now, the first man to reach the North Pole was, I'm not even gonna say African American, because I'm gonna give him his due diligence. He was an American Aborigine, aka American Indian. Okay, all right. Desk clerk. The world forgot. They forgot about it. They didn't forget. They just like to make us think that all we are worth is slavery stories. All right, that's it. But this is him right there. Okay. Let us read a little bit about this American Aboriginal. And his name is Matthew Henson, okay? In his Arctic fur. And let's read a little bit. The article is a little long, but I ain't got nowhere to go. I hope y'all ain't got nowhere to go, okay? Let's do this. I think I'm the first man to sit on top of the world. Is not something that many people can boast, especially if they lead perfectly. If they led perfectly normal lives, say working a desk job in the city in relative anonymity. But for many years, that was the truth of Matthew Henson. In 1908, the unsung American, I'm not going to say African American, American Aborigine explorer was the first of 6 men team to reach the North Pole, but he was the first one to go, okay? But he was part of a team. He studied and spoke the Inuktitut which is a language from the Inuit, okay? The Inuit, all right, or the Inuit, better than any other Westerner on the expedition, leading to the successful trade and navigation relations with the local Inuit. He built igloos, traded the dog sled crews, studied indigenous survival techniques, and mastered a lot of painstaking behind-the-scenes work that came with being the personal valet of a wealthy, pale explorer who had something to prove to the boys back home at the National Geographic Society. It's easy to be, hold on for a second. It's easy to be floored by Henson's accomplishments, which aside from being being achieved, in 29 degrees temperature, show the breadth of what it takes to be an explorer. But it's not so easy to understand how he spent decades following the expedition that should have changed his life forever. Unrecognized and unrewarded. And that's what this system does. Okay? Trust me, he is just one of many, which I will be doing videos talking about our greatness and the inventions. Okay? All of that's to come. All right? So as we conclude so-called Black History Month, we would like to raise a glass and share the story of our adventurer de jour. Okay? Matthew Henson and the man who's officially credited with reaching the North Pole first. Robert Perry met a gentleman's clothing store in 1887, where a 21-year-old Henson was working at the time in Washington. Now, mind you, family, that was in 1887, okay? That was in DC. He was working at the age of 21. As he waited on Perry, a Navy engineer with grand ambitions, the two men from very different backgrounds began talking. Perry would learn that Henson was born into a family of free sharecroppers in Maryland. Now, family, let us talk about sharecropping here for a second, because we were not slaves on this land. Okay? We were not slaves on this land. Our ancestors owned the land and they were sharecroppers, and they got in bed, meaning that they made deals with the so-called black Europeans, okay, that wanted to list their land. And our ancestors would work and get paid because they were introduced to commerce. Don't let these people fool y'all and let them tell you we came here on slave ships from Africa. We owned the land. We had the natural, what they call allodial titles or aboriginal titles. But of course, nobody's going to talk about that. But his family, they were sharecroppers in Maryland, but they had to flee the state after his parents were targeted by the Ku Klux Klan. Now, let me pause here a little second here for you, family, and let me give you some of our amazing story. A little bit. Let me tell you how the Ku Klux Klan was founded. Okay? Let me tell you how the Ku Klux Klan was founded. First off, let me give y'all a little history. Let us go back to 1918. How many of you saw the movie Birth of a Nation? If you did, go ahead and type 1 in the chat. I'm about to go in on y'all right now. Tell you exactly how the Ku Klux Klan was founded. Okay? In the movie, how they showed it. Okay? Anybody saw the Birth of a Nation? Type 1, please. All right, good. Now, I know you guys must have seen the most recent one, but have you seen the one of 1918, the first one of 1918? How many people saw the first one of 1918? Well, guess what? I saw some excerpts from that. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff in my archives. So when I'm talking, I don't just talk. Okay? In 1918, okay, let me just give y'all a little synopsis of the movie in 1918. And guess what? It was the best movie ever made. Okay? That's what they said. Hollywood said it was the best movie ever made. In 1918, Birth of a Nation was the best movie ever made. It told the story of the Civil War after the slaves were free. Like I said, let's put the Civil War in context. Okay? Why would American Aborigines, aka American Indians, be fighting for civil rights in a civil war? That wasn't our fight. The Civil War was about the people that were here working as indentured servants that became slaves, predominantly the pale people. The Civil War started with them, or the whole civil movement started with them. Then it branched off to other ethnic groups, and then it finally became the plight or the movement of the so-called black man and woman, because we were the last one to be considered people or human beings. Even up to this day, we are not considered people, because y'all want to walk around calling yourselves black and African American. The civil rights wasn't about us, family. It wasn't about us. It became our plight. Why? Because we were being forced to assimilate into the United States society, into that commercial world. So we wanted to fit in because it looked like every other United States citizen. I'm not going to say American because they're not Americans. They're United States citizens. Every other United States citizen seemed to be living a decent life, while we were being treated like dogs. So we wanted to fit in. So Hollywood made a movie, 1918, Birth of a Nation. They said that it was the best movie ever made. Okay? It talks about the civil rights after the slaves were freed. Now, mind you, in that movie, you're trying to tell me, if you're going to make a movie about so-called black people and being freed after the civil rights, you couldn't find one black actor to be in that movie. Guess what, family? All the actors in the movie, they were wearing burnt cloth. I hope you know what burnt cloth is. Burnt cloth is some type of garment that you could put over the pale body to make yourself look black. Okay, so all the people in the movie, they were pale actors, but they were wearing burnt cloth to come off, okay, as black people being portrayed in the movie. All right, I'm giving y'all some factual history or a story here for a second. Okay, now this is the synopsis of the movie. The movie showed Negroes, okay, legislators, okay, they took over the South. Now, mind you, we already had the South. Why? Because we were the American Aborigines already in the South. We didn't take over the South. We have always had the South. But the South was taken away from us. Okay? Native people didn't own the South. No. We, the Negroes, owned the South because we were the Negroes that was always in the South. We ain't come here on no damn slave ship. All right? So, the movie showing that these Negroes, they have a legislative body, right? And they're taking over the South. Now, in the film, they have our people looking like apes. You guys should try to find that movie. Okay, 1918, Birth of a Nation. Maybe go ahead and rent the movie. Whatever the case may be, it wasn't even a thing where they were talking. Like, they were literally showing when they had the movies that you don't really hear them talking, but they show the words, okay, describing the different scenes and what was going on. Okay, so that's how old the movie is. All right, so they depicted us as apes in the movie, okay, and that these so-called apes, because they didn't consider us human at that time, okay, so they have this legislative body because we own the South. All right, so they show us in the Senate, in the body Senate, right? Our people drinking whiskey, eating chicken. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's funny, but it's not. Okay, eating chicken. We taking our shoes off, putting it on the desk, and we were literally passing all these crazy laws, like stuff like, you know what, the Negroes could marry whoever they want, including black people. You know, in the towns of these Negroes, white people couldn't pass on sidewalks without permission. Literally, it was a mockery, okay, of our people. But they were sending a message because the goal of that movie was to make sure that the Negro was portrayed as incompetent, ignorant, foolish, and stupid. That was the goal of that movie, to show that if these people in the South, they have so much power. Now you tell me, how in heaven's name that all these slaves that came from Africa have all this power in the South during slavery? You tell me that. I'll wait. I will wait. But anyway, that was the whole goal in the movie, to give us a certain stereotype. Okay? Now, mind you, that movie was considered the best movie, period, in that era and for a very long time. So therefore, over millions and millions of United States citizens saw that movie. Okay? And they gave them the illusion, y'all better be careful, because these Negroes, they are running things. And if we allow them to run things, they will be in the Senate, they will be in the government, and that's how they're going to run the government. Okay? Taking out their shoes, putting it on desk, digging their feet, eating chicken, passing all these laws. If we allow these Negroes to be the one to run Congress. Okay? So, there was this gentleman, Colonel Cameron. Like, once again, family, don't believe anything I'm telling you. Do your own research, okay? There was this gentleman, Colonel Cameron. He was a former officer of the Confederate Army. And I'm talking about dude was heated. He was pissed off and upset, okay, that the Northerners and the freed blacks were changing the South. Literally, they were taking over what he claimed to be his, which was the South. So what he, and I'm talking about, they showed all that in the movie. So one day he took a walk, all right? And while he was thinking, he saw two white kids playing, okay? And immediately followed four black children, okay? It was, I mean, 6 children in total, they were playing together, okay? Because back in the days, like I said, there was no big thing with everybody was literally equal because slavery was just a business. Slavery had nothing to do with the color of skin. It became that eventually. But at first, it had nothing to do with that. Okay, so in the movie, he's showing that they're showing, that, the colonel, the ex-colonel Cameron, okay, he was a colonel and an officer in the Confederate Army, right? So he's mad. These so-called Negroes, they run in the South, the Northerners, they're taking over. So he said, listen, he tight. So when he saw the children playing, 2 white children, they were hiding and they put white sheets over their heads. Okay, they put white sheets over their heads. Immediately after that, they show 4 so-called black children coming, running. And when they saw the 2 white children with the sheets, okay, the children jumped up like ghosts, like to scare them, and they ran. And then he came up with the idea to create the Ku Klux Klan. Okay, because naturally our people were afraid of ghosts. Another reason why in the Bible they put the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, because they want you to be afraid of that entity. Family, this is deep, but it's not that deep once you know the information. So our people were afraid of ghosts in the white sheet, so they ran. So Colonel Cameron came up with the idea, and that's how, I'm talking about in the movie, that's how the organization for the Ku Klux Klan was born. And the cavalry and the white bed sheet, okay, became the rescuer of the South. And the picture of the Ku Klux Klan is seen as the hero that saved the day in the movie. So now you have millions of United States citizens seeing that, and that's how the Klan became popular. Now, I just wanted to stop there to tell you, since they mentioned the Ku Klux Klan, I just wanted to give you the story and the background in the movie, how it was played out. Okay? So I wanted to give you guys that information. But please go look at the movie, see if you could rent it, see if you could buy it, whatever the case may be. 1918, Birth of a Nation. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It will piss you off, but at the same time, it will give you a broader perspective, okay, of how some of these things transpired. Okay, now let us continue to read about Matthew Henson. By the age of 12, he had gone to the sea as a cabin boy and traveled to the ports of China at the age of 12, family. Now you tell me, in the 1800s, how is that a so-called slave or an ex-slave, all right, by the age of 12, already traveling to China, Japan, and Africa and Russia, Arctic seas? Now you tell me, what kind of slave is that? Please tell me, educate me, what kind of slave have all that power? The merchant ship's captain had taken the young American Aboriginal under his wing and taught him to read and write. Now that's a picture of him right here. Okay. It's safe to say that Henson had more experience than many of the aspiring explorers Robert Perry was used to meeting in the gentleman's lounge of the Nat Geo Society at the turn of the century. Okay, because remember, when they have all these societies, right? These societies, they pay all this money to be a part of these societies. Not because people want to pay money just to be in some expensive club. No, they do that because that's where people network. That's where people network, lodges and, all these different places. All right. Now, Perry, the guy pictured below on the far right with the walrus mustache, hired him on the spot. Okay. So those are those guys. All right. They hired Henson. okay, on the spot. From that point forward, Henson went on every expedition Perry embarked on, trekking through the jungles of Nicaragua and later covering thousands of miles of ice in dog sleds to the North Pole. And that's them right there, you know, with the expedition. Okay. I told y'all, man, I love to read, man. I love to read. Okay. On a side note, this would be a good time to mention that Robert Perry's wife, Josephine, aka the First Lady of the Arctic and one of history's bravest corset-wearing ice queen explorers, was also a notable party member of the Perry's expedition. She actually gave birth to their baby by the North Pole and wrote a best-selling book, The Snow Baby. And remind you of Snow White, right? Well, they didn't tell you about the Snow Brother. He was the first one to go to the North Pole. But they will not tell you that. In short, Commodore Perry was rolling with a very intimate but diverse crew that included 22 Inuit men, okay, indigenous men, 17 Inuit women, big up to our American Aboriginal women, 10 children, 246 dogs, 70 tons of 64 metric tons of whale meat from Labrador, and the meat and blubber of 50 walruses, hunting equipment, and tons of coal. All right. And they made their move. Now, family, look at these people right here. Look at these original people. And remember what I told y'all? A lot of them have these Asian looking eyes. Why? But they are dark complexion skinned. So let me tell you something. If in the 1800s they had the same complexion, okay, with Henson, where are these people today? With those chinky looking eyes, but the so-called black skin. Where they at? Do you know who these people are? Do you know how these people came about? These people came about, like I said, with a mixture with the American Aboriginal Negro, okay, and explorers that came into the Americas. And that was the sequence of changing, okay, literally saving the man, but killing the Indian. That was the term that was used. Save the man and kill the Indian. That's how they killed the Indian, family. And then all of a sudden, it became they were the indigenous people. Then they started lightening up the Indians until to this day, you get to see these natives talking about that they are the Indians. But let me ask you, if that's what they look like in the 1800s, how come they look like you in 2021? Oh, like I said, I have enough information to debunk the BS. Okay, I'll tell you that. All right, I'll tell you that. Henson was promoted to the first. Henson was promoted to the first man and field assistant. He was a skilled craftsman, often coming up with life-saving solutions for the team in the onset of the Arctic conditions. Why? Because he was indigenous. That was part of the life. On the final stage of the journey toward the North Pole, it was just himself. Okay, Perry and 4 native Inuit assistants, Uta, Iga, I hope I'm not going to butcher that, Iji, Jinwa, Singlu, and Uguay. Okay, there they are. Look at these people, same complexion, looking like Negroes with chinky eyes. Niche National Geographic Archives. Okay, and that's them on the expedition right there. All right. As they approached the farthest north point of any Arctic expedition until 1909, Robert grew more and more weary, suffering from exhaustion and frozen toes, unable to leave their camp. Set off 5 miles from the pole, Henson scooted ahead on Perry's orders. I was in the lead that had overshot the mark a couple of miles. Henson later recalled. He went back then and could see that my footprints were the first at the spot. Okay? First man to get to the North Pole was a brother. Okay? According to his account of the eighth attempt to reach the North Pole, which is now suspected to be off the mark by a wee bit, but whose trimming inches, Henson revealed that it wasn't Admiral Perry, the great explorer who would later receive many honors for leading the expedition, but he himself who made it to the top of the world first. But of course, they gave it to a pale man. Okay, family? Just want y'all to know, man. That's how we get discredited, because they don't want our children to know how great we are. You feel me? No. They don't want us to know. When Perry caught up with him, the sled-bound admiral allegedly trotted upon the plant the American flag in the ice, and yet the only photograph of the historic moment shows a crew of faces that are distinctively what? Not white. So you tell me where y'all pale people, pale natives came from. Because your skin sure is white, if you ask me. And again, I'm not here to bash anybody, man. I'm just tired, okay, of people trying to disrespect us. Not trying. They're disrespecting us. And I don't like that. Here we go. All these people here, Negroes. But they gave, of course, they gave the honors to the pale man, right? So, was it Robert's way of honoring the crew by allowing them to pose for the snap, or was he still back at the camp, unable to make it in the last few miles, leaving his first man to plant the flag and taking a self-portrait with the 4 Inuit team members? These may seem like minor details, but it was you that had planted the first flag on the moon. Couldn't you want the history of the world to know it? That's the brother right there. Okay? Here's what Henson wrote about the moment they reached the North Pole in his autobiographical account, A Negro Explorer at the North Pole, 1912. All right. The flag snapped and crackled with the wind. I felt a savage joy and exaltation. Another world's accomplishment was done and finished. And as in the past, from the beginning of history, whenever the world's work was done by a white man, he had been accompanied by a colored man. You hear that again? I'm going to repeat that again. In his autobiography, he says what? Another world's accomplishment was done and finished. And as in the past, from the beginning of history, in other words, from the beginning of his story, whenever world's work was done by a white man, he had been accompanied by a colored man. From the building of the pyramids and the journey to the cross, okay, to the discovery of the new world. He's even telling you they had black men there, because what? It was black men that came here and did all that, okay? And the discovery of the North Pole, the Negro had been the faithful and constant companion of the Caucasian. And I felt all of that was possible for me to feel that I was, as a lowly member of my race, who had been chosen by fate. No, it wasn't fate, brother. Okay? That was fate. Your calling. At this, almost the last of the world's great work. Matthew Henson, a Negro in the North Pole, 1912. All right? And listen, man, y'all better stop playing. Despite some doubts about the accuracy of the data, as well as a competing claim, the National Geographic Society credited Perry with reaching the North Pole and was recognized by Congress, which awarded him thanks of Congress by a special act in 1911. At the time, Henson's contributions were largely ignored, and following the expedition, he returned to a very normal life, working as a clerk for 23 years on the 3rd floor of the U.S. Customs House in New York City, while Perry retired to Eagle Island without the reputation or financial backing to organize his own expeditions, Henson's career as an explorer was over forever when Perry hung up his hat. In his books, Perry didn't exactly give credit where credit was due. Of course, we never get the credit, right? We never get the credit. The position I have given him primarily because of his adaptability and the fitness for the work, and secondly, on account of his loyalty, wrote Perry. He's a better dog driver and can handle a sledge better than any man living, except some of the best Eskimo hunters themselves. All right, here we are. Perry right there. You can see in his own writing that Henson struggled with the role of playing second fiddle to a man like Perry, which isn't to say there is not immense joy and pride in his work with the Commodore, but there are major flashes of internalized racism in his self-value. It's complicated. It's something I wish we talked about in high school world history classes. Okay. Henson did later gain some recognition in his lifetime, and nearly 30 years after the expedition in 1937, he became the first American Aborigine to be made a life member of the Explorers Club, one of the world's most prominent societies for trailblazers, with Neil Armstrong and the real-life Indiana Jones counted amongst its members. With some irony, in 1944, Henson was awarded the Perry Polar Expedition Medal, which was received at the White House by Truman and Eisenhower. All righty. I think y'all got the gist of pretty much the story, right? Henson died in 1955 in the Bronx, New York, and was transferred to Arlington National Cemetery to be buried beside Robert Perry in the 1980s. He had no children with his wife, but was survived in direct ancestry by an Inuit son, Anuakat. Both Henson and Perry had children with Inuit women outside of marriages, and in the 1950s, a French explorer spending a year in Greenland was the first to report on their descendants. The explorers who had never returned to see their children after 1908, but Henson actually has a great-great-granddaughter, an actor, Taraji P. Henson. Just so in case y'all didn't know, that is her great-great-grandfather, aka Cookie Lion from television's Empire. It's a small world after all. Family. Okay? Just so y'all know, in case y'all didn't know, that was her great-great-great-grandfather. Okay? Taraji P. Henson. Her great-great-grandfather was the first man to get to the top of the world on the North Pole. But they will not teach us that. They will not teach our children that. Okay? Thanks to an American, African-American Harvard professor, Samuel Allen Counter Jr., making some noise about Henson's story again in the 1980s. The explorer was posthumously awarded the National Geographic Society highest honor, the Harvard Medal, nearly a century after Perry had been given the same award for their expedition in the 1908. African-American history has symmetrically been deprived of his own heroic explorers, but isn't it about time someone called Hollywood and got Idris Elba in for screen test? Family, you see what I'm saying? Now, they say he was African-American, huh? Well, let Chief Kalinago go into a little bit of background of the brother here for a second. So just to show y'all again, Taraji P. Henson is an American Aborigine. All right? Let me go here for a second. Early life. Okay, let's go to his early life here for a second. Y'all think this is a game. All right? Early life. Okay, we're going to look at the early life of this gentleman right here. prestige, gentlemen. Okay? Early life and education. Henson was born August 8th, okay, 1866 on his parents' farm. Now, let me ask you a question. If we were slaves coming from Africa, right, in 1866, slavery was literally still in boom, okay? How come his parents had a farm? Like I said, our people were sharecroppers. We owned all the land. Let me read this again, because I get excited when I read things like that. So I get hype. I start, messing up the, the words. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my excitement, all right? Henson was born on August 8th, 1866. His parents' farm, on his parents' farm, east of the Potomac River in Charles County, Maryland, to sharecroppers who had been what? Who had been what, family? Free people of color. So if his people were free people of color in the 1866, just imagine if his people were what? Older than him. That means we going back into the 1700s. Where's the slavery at? Where's the slavery at? All right, thank you very much. Before the American Civil War, because that had nothing to do with us. Matthew's parents were subjected to attacks by the Ku Klux Klan and other white supremacist groups who terrorized Southern freedmen, aka American Aborigines, aka the original American Indian, and former what? Free people of color after the Civil Rights War. Family, let me tell y'all something, man. When I drop what I'm dropping, okay, I could drop the mic. I ain't gotta read no more. There you go. So these people better put some respect and stop disrespecting us. You know what I'm saying? The reason why this is happening is because we are allowing it to happen. And I'm telling y'all, we ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. Let them prove that we are not the Aborigines. You see what you have to do when you bring a claim in law, you have to put the burden of proof on the accuser. Put the burden of proof on them. Let us show us the documents. Show us the manifesto. Show us the ship. Show us the slave ship. Show us the records that we came here as slaves. Guess what? They cannot do it because it don't exist. But I promise you, I could show you the archives of the pale people that came here that are now playing Indians. I could show you the archives of where they came from in Randall's Island. I could show you all the records. Okay? I could show y'all that. And no, we're not Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew Israelites are they're one of the first settlers that came into the Americas. Okay? So we have a bond, a relationship with them as well. Okay? All these people that come here talking about they are us and we are them, guess what? They came and mixed in with us. That's the only way they could claim anything. And most of that was done through our women. Why do you think they had to degrade our women so much? Why do you think our women are in the state that they're in right now? They are proud to be female dogs. And not just female dogs, but a bad female dog. Let me tell y'all something. Our women was the backbone. Okay? Our women was the backbone of our communities. They held us men up. Okay? When we were being attacked, when we were treated like dogs, inhumane, our women were the ones stepping up. Now, that's my man. See, y'all don't know. That's why there's no way I could never disrespect our women. Never do that. And I will always uplift them. I'm not doing it for likes. No, I'm doing it because that was our culture. That was our culture, fam. And it's a disrespect to me for men to be walking around here wearing panties, wanting to be women. Yes, I said it. It's a disrespect. Competing with our women because they want to replace our women. That's why I'm very mindful. I'm going to have me some more children, but I need to see birth certificates. I need to see baby pictures. Man, listen, if you got stretch marks, even better, because that means you had babies. I ain't playing these games in 2021. Come on, man. Or now of course, we're going to uplift each other. That was the whole goal. But the point I'm making is we had a special protection for our women. You see what I'm saying? But when they broke us down as the pillar, okay, when they broke us down, our women stepped up and was fierce. You see what I'm saying? But they had to continue degrading our women, breaking them down, breaking them down, breaking them down to the point where they're at today. And this is what a lot of them want to call themselves. Let me pull it up for you right now. This is what a lot of them want to call themselves, and it's being promoted on radio. It's being promoted in videos. It's being promoted in the movies. And our people, we're not fighting against that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's becoming now. They want to be like celebrities. Okay? Let me tell you what a lot of our women want to like being called today. All right? Let me tell you what they like. Not all. A lot of them like being called today. You feel me? Let me show you the word right there. And I'll tell you exactly what that is. This could never be a term of endearment to me. Okay? Never be a term of endearment to me. And I see sisters who supposedly are conscious and they in videos talking. I even saw a girl doing a video meditating. This is how bad BITCHES meditate. Come, man, listen. I mean, this is just so crazy. The etymology of the word bitch, okay? A female dog. Why would you want to be proud to be a female dog, and not just a female dog, but a bad one at that too? But tell me it's a term of endearment. And who you think applied that to them? It says what? As a term of contempt applied to women, it dates back to the 1400 of a man. Playfully in a sense of what? A dog. Man, listen, man. Y'all better wake up, man. Y'all better wake up and stop glorifying this foolishness. Okay? Beyonce, all of them. I ain't got no respect for them. Yes, I said it. Freedom of speech. I can say what I want. I'm going to say how I feel. Okay? And a lot of our people, y'all are supporting that. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all are supporting that. The reason why that the music is popular is because of you. Because if you didn't support it, it wouldn't be popular. We don't call the radio stations to complain. We don't call the TV stations to complain. No. You see what I'm saying? We are our biggest enemies. They gave us the vice, okay? They give us all the vices. And we use those vices to what? Self-destruct. That's why I tell you, stop looking at the pale man as your enemy. Look in the mirror. Period. Man, y'all better wake up, man. Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up and see what's happening to our people, our children, and particularly our women. And it's going to take a few. It's not going to take a lot. It's going to take a few well-grounded women, solid women to stand up. And that's why I do what I do. To educate y'all, teach you about our culture, teach you about the respect we had, and a lot of us still do have for you, and you have to step up. You have to step up. Okay? It's a calling. You feel me? It's a calling that you have. It's an obligation. Or else we might as well just throw in the towel. Okay? We might as well just throw it in. Because there will be no hope if we allow the kind of women we have here today to raise our girls, our little boys, where it's okay for little boys to wear panties. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of society that they want to create for our children. You feel me? I will never condone that. Now, you do what you want with your life, but I'm not going to condone that. And I have the free will not to condone that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the art of war. A lot of you may not see it that way. You may think it's a lifestyle. No, it's not a lifestyle. It's an art of war that was promoted. Okay? It was created and paid to be promoted. So our little boys could be feminized. So now there will be nobody to protect the women and the children because all the men are wearing panties. It is really that simple. Whether you like it or not, I keep telling y'all, if you don't want the truth, don't come here for the truth. Don't come here because I'm going to tell you the truth. And anybody could say what they want. I'm just saying like it is. Like it is. It's not normal for parents to be teaching their little boys to wear panties. That's not normal. Okay? So you have a responsibility. Okay? And I'm going to bring this up again. I'm going to bring this up again. Okay? Man, listen, y'all don't have to agree with anything I say. You have your respect. Okay? You say what you want. All right? You have your own opinion. You have a freedom of speech. Like I said, it's not normal for parents to teach their little boys to wear panties. That was never part of our culture. So for all you Negropeans that think it's normal, then that's on you. But it wasn't part of our culture. Period. Don't tell me about our culture. That's a Negropean pale culture. It's not ours. Well, they teach it because it's been promoted and that's what it is. And I'm going to leave it as that. I'm done with that. The next thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm done. We have to take the responsibility, okay? And we have to stop supporting that type of music, okay? Call these radio stations. When these people do their movies, don't support it. And not just that. The music that's going around teaching our men to kill each other, we got to stop supporting that. We got to stop supporting that. If y'all want to make some moves to make things better for our people, we got to stop being our own worst enemies. It's the only way it's going to happen. You feel me? Now, I'm not here again, once again, I'm not here to bash nobody. I'm telling you about our culture. You feel me? That's what I'm telling you about. I don't care about anything whether it was black Europeans or pale Europeans brought here. I'm telling you about the American Aborigine culture. You feel me? At the age of 12, little boys would live with their fathers and go learn to hunt and learn how to kill and learn how to build and learn how to grow food. Well, more so hunting. The women grew the food. Okay? But that was the culture. They didn't have time to stay at home and go to beauty salons with their mama, like what that's happening in 2021. Okay? They didn't have time for that because they had men around, real men around teaching boys how to be men. Okay? There was only a way of life. It had nothing to do with freedom of choice. It was only a way of life. Boys were taught to be men. That was what nature intended. Don't tell me nothing about no choice. We didn't have that. It had nothing to do with that. That was just the natural order of things. Okay? Period. A woman could be a warrior without a little boy turning into a woman to be a warrior. Like I said, I'm watching a lot of y'all. I'm watching y'all. I am. Now, once again, like I said, in 2021, you choose to be what you want to be. I can't be mad at that. But I'm telling you about our culture. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Period. And that's it. So with that being said, I'm done. Okay? So I just wanted to bring some information here for you guys and do what you want with the information. It is really up to you. Okay? But there is definitely, okay, like I said, agendas that are being pushed because this is an art of war. Okay? It is an art of war. Don't worry, one of these days I'll get into the double spirit and all that. Double spirit doesn't mean what you think it means. Like I said, stop trying to make excuses for this type of life. Okay, it's a choice. Because people are always trying to twist things to make it work in their favor. You feel me? Double-spirited people is one thing. You feel me? That have nothing to do with what's happening today. So don't confuse the two. You feel me? Don't confuse it. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And one day I'll do a video and I'll break it all down. Like I said, y'all could condone it if y'all want. Y'all could support it if y'all want. But me, I'm my own man. And I know my culture. All right? And I'll stick to that. It is really that simple. All right? So, again, I respect everybody. I love everybody. Okay? But I know there's a war going on indigenous people, especially on our young children, and now particularly our young boys are being targeted. And there's a reason for that. Okay? And I'll just leave it as that. Okay, guys? So once again, I give y'all the website. Okay? Listen, you could disagree with, I'm not telling you have to agree with me. How come you're the only one that's disagreeing? You see what I'm saying? But I already know why. I already know why. Trust and believe. I know. Because like I told y'all before, I see people through the flesh. Okay? Y'all be surprised the gift that I have. Okay? And I'm not asking anybody to agree with anything that I say. All I'm doing is dropping the information. When it comes to opinions, I will tell you when it's my opinion. Okay? But when I give you the facts is the facts. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody could live their truth. It doesn't mean, once again, it's part of our culture. That is your truth. Okay? It is really that simple. So you guys have an amazing one. And I will be talking to you guys soon on the next build. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next, but I got some great things coming for y'all. I'll tell you that much. Okay. The website is www.ipnan.org. Don't forget, guys, to make sure you guys join the Telegram group, okay? Because we need to have as many different platforms as possible so we could stay in touch. All right. Let me see if I could give you guys hold up. I'm trying to see if I could find it. The Telegram. See if I could find the Telegram link. Give me 1 second. So I could just put it in there so you guys could join the Telegram group. Man, where do I have this? Give me 1 second, man. I'm putting up the Telegram group right now. I'm also going to do a video. I forgot the name of the town in Jamaica, but it was considered to be the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. And Mother Nature destroyed that town. So y'all keep playing around and thinking this is a game. Okay. All right. Keep thinking it's a game and it's part of our culture. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking that. All I could do is bring the information and y'all do what y'all want with it. Okay. Y'all keep going against nature and see what's gonna happen. Let me share this real quick. Let me put that in the link. Right here. Boom. Here we go. So that is the Telegram, guys. So go ahead and join the Telegram, okay? So like I said, we got to stay connected. All right. So I've been on here for 1 hour and 46 minutes. You guys have a great one. Like I said, the next video I'm going to do, I'm going to whatchamacallit. I might do something on a little bit on you know what? I'm not going to say. Let me just put it together. When I put it together, I'll bring it to you guys. All right, guys. Don't forget again to go to the site, show your support. Don't give any support or donations on YouTube because YouTube is holding on to my donations out for whatever reason. So you could go to the site and show your love and show your appreciation. All right. So you guys have a good one. Please research all the information that I'm giving you. Don't believe anything that I say, honestly. Just do your own research and find the truth, find your truth, find the truth for yourself. All I can do is just give you the information, but please do some outside research of everything that I'm showing you. Okay. So you guys, I will talk to you guys soon. And please keep in mind, like I said, I'm not sure if YouTube is going to allow me to show the videos that I have of the 1900s of the Indians, but because of copyright reasons. So I may probably do a special lesson for that and invite you guys to a Zoom call just in case, because YouTube gave me a couple of strikes like that before and I don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta have to find a way to show you guys that video and you could see the complexion of those Indians in 1901 in the early 1900s. They look nothing like the people they call them the natives right now. Like I said, the only difference is, okay, they kind of remind me a little bit of the Eskimos, where they have the Negro skin, but they have like chinky eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I told y'all how that came about. Okay. So, but that's what was being promoted as the Indian, because that was the process of literally starting to whitewash the Negro. You see what I'm saying? Taking the Negro of America, the Negroes of America, taking us out of our proper identity and start making the shift to what we have today. Okay, to what we have today. And I'm talking about millions and millions of these natives and these $5 Indians. All that stuff happened in the 1800s. Don't let these people fool you about, oh, well, we came from the Bering Strait in the 10, 15, 20,000 years ago. That's not true. Okay, these people had no idea what America was. That was all that was part of the narrative of the story that was created. Let's give them something that's far-fetched, but it makes sense. Okay, these people, even the original Asians, are not pale people. You see what I'm saying? So you have to know that. So if there was any migration 15, 20, 30,000 years ago through the Bering Strait, those people were literally with the dark skin looking like those Indians I'm telling you about that came in and mixed in with the Negroes. But they were not pale, I promise you that. It was just a story, once again, that was put together to tell us. And then once the transition took place, then they created the slave story. That was the nail on the coffin. Okay? They had to put a nail in the coffin. And roots was the nail in the coffin. And then they had to keep promoting it. Okay? The icing on the coffin, or the roses on the coffin. You know, James Brown, Proud and I'm Black, Jesse Jackson, African American. And it goes on and on and on and on. As a matter of fact, when they called us Afro-American, that was better than everything else, apart from Negro in the beginning, which Negro holds political significance. Okay? But Afro-American was also a good identity because it was still saying that we were Americans, we just had afros. But that couldn't stick because that would give us too much ties to the land. You see what I'm saying? So they had to keep changing our identity. And this is where we are at today. Barack Obama came and said, you know what? Let me go ahead and just put it in stamp. You are African American. Period. That's it. All right, guys. So I hope you guys are finding value in these videos, and don't just let it be a thing, you know, where you're just hearing it one time. No. Listen to the information over and over again. Teach it to your children. Get them curious. Get them away from these phones. Get them away from this computer playing all these stupid games. They want to learn. Is what you expose them to. They get curious. They you know, that arouse their curiosity. You think if you start telling our children the truth, they wouldn't want to stop learning. And once again, don't let anybody, okay, deter you. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Especially these pale people. Because like I said, the experience that I'm having, a lot of them they are coming with good intentions. And some of them still maintain the good intention. But a lot of them are coming with this subliminal friendship. You see what I'm saying? And coming at me sideways. But I have all the information to shut everything down. I got that. You feel me? I got that. So I'm not even worried about it. Because the questions that I ask them, I let them put themselves in a jam. Because I know exactly what to ask. And then they get upset. And they start getting disrespectful. I'm not worried about that. You feel me? Oh, well, you know, yes, family, I get that, Corey. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand again, right? What our people went through. And a lot of people will get away from a lot of these religions. They will. Okay? They will. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. Okay? Just imagine 5 years ago, how many of us was really stepping up? When I was teaching that from the very beginning, people thought I was crazy. You see what I'm saying? People thought I was crazy. When I was telling people we were the American Aborigines. What I was saying American Indian then. People thought I was nuts. But look at the wave that's happening right now. And our ancestors are smiling down at us because their children are finally getting it. You see what I'm saying? They're finally getting it. So, the religious aspect of things, our people are a highly sensitive spiritual set of people. You feel me? So when our spirituality or spiritual practices was taken away from us, okay, or it was being suppressed, so to speak, okay, the closest thing we got to was religion where we could express ourselves. The further back you go into the churches, you will see that our people were still doing the Indian dances, what they call catching the Holy Ghost. Okay? That was an Indian stump. That was the Indian dance. You feel me? We couldn't wear feathers out in public. So what we did, our elders used to wear the feathers, a little feather in the hat. You see, they left us all that stuff wasn't it wasn't by coincidence. They was giving us clues. You feel me? Go look at the Crip Walk. The Crip Walk is an Indian dance. You see what I'm saying? Our indigenous dances, I'm talking about the original Aborigines, is not what you see these people doing right now, running around. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. That's not our culture. That is not ours. catching the Holy Ghost in church. That's Aboriginal dance. The Crip Walk. Different variations of those dances. That's our culture. And once again, not here to put anybody down. It may sound that way, but I'm just letting you know the facts. So we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of stepping up to do. Okay? Because we have some few legal battles that we have to put in place. And we have to come correct. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably do a video and talk a little bit about that, and also, you know, just basically what you guys should do, okay? Or what, you know, if I were you, what I would do. Talk to as many elders as you can, okay? And get them on record telling you who you are. For those of you that are fortunate to have your elders around, okay? Please record it, because we had a rich, and we still do have a rich oral history, okay? So if your grandmother, grandfather, grandaunt, whoever, an elder, tell you who you are and you have it on record, that holds in court, okay? That's evidence, okay? Another thing we're going to do is, which I'll do a video on, we're going to talk about doing a basic declaration, okay? Because why is that important? When the United States, okay, they wanted freedom from their black queens and kings. When they fought, what did they do? After they fought, it wouldn't have been final if they hadn't declared their independence. So a declaration was put in place. All right. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that, where you could create a declaration, get it notarized, okay, and you would have that, all right, as part of your legal documents. Also, your elders on record telling you who you are. So when we bring our claim, okay, we have our I's dotted and we have our T's crossed. So we got a lot of work to do. All right, guys. So I'm out. I love you guys. Well, somebody had told me they suggested that I stop using guys, you know, in my videos. But, you know, every little thing offends people nowadays, man. Just this generation is just so sensitive. Okay, just so sensitive. I don't know if it's in the water, if it's in the food. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but I'm gonna say I love my people. All right. And that's why I do what I do. You know, I appreciate everyone. I have a love for everyone, but I love my people. Okay. You see, you have to love your people to do the things that is being done. You see what I'm saying? Because what I do, it brings a lot of attention to me, unnecessary attention, you know, but I trust my ancestors, you know, with the information that they give me. I trust them that they will protect me. And I trust that, you know, I trust that when it's time for us to step up, it wouldn't just be me stepping up. You see what I'm saying? Everybody will be ready to make that move. You see what I'm saying? Because I cannot do it alone. I am not going to do it alone. I refuse to be a martyr for anybody. You see, that's not my reality. That's why I tell people, I'm not here to lead anybody. That's not my job. My job is not to lead you. Okay? My job is to give you the information and teach you how to be a leader within your own rights. Because you see, we have to learn from his story. You feel what I'm saying? We have to learn from his story. Every time one man or one woman step up and they seem to have all the pull or all the power, it's easy to make that one individual a target. But if I could take the information that's in my head and all the research that I've done and give it to 1 million of our people, then guess what? That's 1 million leaders that I'm creating. You see, that's what I want my legacy to be. I don't want to be just this one man. No. I want us to walk together. I have always said this. Yes, the ancestors gave me a role to be in a position where I have the information. And I'm certainly sure there are other people doing it as well. But I'm dropping a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't have. So, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. But the point is, I don't want to be that type of leader. I want us to walk together. Let's hold hands and step together where all of us have the same knowledge, where all of us are well equipped. You see what I'm saying? So I want to teach you guys everything that I know. Sometimes I wonder how all this fit in my head, but I guess I got a big head. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, family, I'm being honest. I had to sacrifice a lot in my life to be able to do what I'm doing right now. Okay? Like I told y'all before, I had to literally give up relationships. I mean, I was in serious relationships and I literally just made up my mind. Hey, you know what? I told, you know, that was years ago, right? I told the woman that I was with, I said, listen, I just got up one day and said, she came from work and I said, listen, I'm going to be celibate for 3 years. She thought I was crazy because when I got into a state of rest, you know, the ancestors came to me and told me to be celibate for 3 years. I don't know why 3 years, but that's what they told me. And I just did it because I'm very obedient when they speak to me. And she thought I was crazy. People thought I was crazy. And I was just studying nonstop. You know what I mean? So I did my time when it comes to studying. I don't know if you guys remember the videos, like for 6 months. And big up and shout out to Brother Will, you know, Willie out there in Missouri in the mountains. You know what I mean? I took 6 months. I went and lived, right, in the mountains. I'm talking about, I think you guys saw the trailer, right? On 21 acres by myself in a trailer in dead winter. No heat. Okay? No heat. No stove. No toilet. Okay? I mean, y'all just don't know. I had to do all that in order to go through that initiation. I didn't even know what it was then, but I was just being obedient. So people don't know. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of us made a lot of sacrifices. And I'm not telling you that to impress you. I'm telling you that to impress upon you, okay, what some of us, and I'm certainly sure it's not just me, but what some of us had to do to be able to be worthy, to be in the position that the ancestors put us in. But a lot of times we take that for granted because people don't know. You see, I don't come on here and brag about these things. I don't come here and boast about these things. I'm mentioning that right now because I know there are people right now that are literally starting that journey where I started years ago, where they're going through the internal conflict. Their families are calling them crazy. You see what I'm saying? They don't believe anything they say. I used to be there. So I had to isolate myself because it came to a point where I was feeling so alone. And then when I used to come and do videos, I was getting the spiritual attack online. You think what happened to me the other day with that, you know, with that cyber attack that they gave me? You thought that was something new? No. These people know who I am. So they're always coming at me. But you see, I'm protected. I'm protected. I know that. They know who I am. So a lot of you will be going through that experience. Don't fight the feeling. Don't fight when the ancestors talk to you. Sometimes it's going to be a voice in your head. It might sound like your own voice, but sometimes it's not you. If you start questioning yourself where it came from, just know that that's the ancestors talking to you. Okay? At some point, it depends on how you're vibrating, right? You might hear a lot of ringing in your ear, like a whistling, like a cricket. Not like a cricket, but it's like a buzzing, a sound. You see what I'm saying? You might start hearing that. It's not, you're not losing your hearing. Okay? Those are just vibrational frequencies that is being transmitted to you. And I didn't know how to chill and get the message from them things until I just had to relax. There are times I felt my pineal gland pulsating, like I would really look in the mirror and see my pineal gland pulsating to the point where I was getting slight headaches. And I didn't know how to deal with that until I had to learn how to deal with it by just being calm. And then the voice would come into my head, Chief, it's time to take some rest. We got a message for you. I don't care if it's during the day. I don't care if it's 9 a.m. I don't care if it's 10 a.m. I don't care if it's 2, 12, 8. I mean, I don't care what time of the day. Anytime my ancestors tell me take a nap, I take a nap. And they always have something for me. Within that initiation that I had to go through, I was practicing levitation. I was practicing telekinesis, okay? I was literally talking to the rain and stopping the rain. Like, y'all just don't know the power that we have. But I got so distracted with so many different things. I'm literally just getting back into it. So I had to, it's been months now. I've been eating the food, okay? Craving the food that you see me posting, okay? Once in a while, I will still eat a little salmon once in a while. You know what I'm saying? But I do the whatchamacallit, the grains and the whole foods and all that. Because I want to get back to my craft. I want to start practicing telekinesis again. You know what I'm saying? I want to start talking to the elements in nature and moving them, having them bend to my will. Because I was able to do that. I used to be able to levitate to a certain extent where I would be so exhausted, like literally feel my body lifting off the ground. I remember years ago when I was really getting deep into it, it was so much noise in my house. I had a little closet for myself where I created a soundproof in that closet and locked myself in there for at least a day or two, not eating and just meditating. Like, people don't know. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be your journey, but I'm letting you know there are certain sacrifices that you have to make in order, okay, to be, how would I put it? Many are called, but chosen a few, to be chosen for certain things. And it doesn't mean that the called is not important. Everybody got a role to play, but certain people have different roles to play. You see what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So I have to protect my energy. So when people send me inboxes, it's not that I'm being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know what angle they are coming from, because I've been through so much. I'm telling y'all, man. And I'm sharing these things with you because I want you to know that it's real. It's real. Our ancestors are real. And it's unfortunate that we, as the indigenous original people of this land, we have to go through what we have to go through, because people they just make up their mind that by any means necessary, we are going to get rid of these Indians. That's the plot. To make sure that one American Aboriginal is not standing. You feel me? And it's sad because we gave the world so much. We built this entire nation. And now everybody get to come here and live the American dream. But the children of the wilderness, we are here living a nightmare. Do you think anything good is going to come from these people? No. Do you think anything good is going to happen to them? No. Nothing good is going to happen to them. So what we have to do is start honoring our ancestors, calling out to them. Build your altars. You see, they keep telling you that, oh, well, having altars to honor your ancestors, is pagan, it's evil. But every Sunday they got you walking up to an altar praying to a pale man. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. You look at what the Haitians are doing. Certain people in Brazil practicing, the arts. I call it arts, which is our culture. And you say it's evil. But yet still, them sacrificing, chickens or whatever the case may be, using the chicken blood and putting it on their bodies. You saying that it's pagan and it's evil. But yet still, they got you drinking the blood of a pale man, eating his body, symbolic of that. That is sacrificial, but it's okay for you guys to do it. It's okay for you to do it. Well, don't honor your ancestors, but honor this dead man that's going to come to save you. Family, if y'all don't see something wrong with that, I don't know what to tell y'all anymore. I don't know. Because everything they told you that was pagan and evil, they got you doing it. But you're not even conscious of what you're doing. But man, listen, man. Woo! I love us, man, but woo! We've been through it. And we're still going through it. And we still got some more to go through. But you know what? We will be victorious. You know why? Because the first shall be the last. And that's why we became the last. But the last will be the first again. That's why it's our time. Why do you think within the United States, in the body of politics, why do you think they're fighting each other like that? Do you think it's because, oh, well, they can't get along? No. That is prophecy. All right. That is our ancestors intervening. Why? Because the energy of the American Aborigines are rising. You feel me? And that's what's happening right now. It's a spiritual awakening. That is the significance of what we are doing. Speaking out our ancestors' name, calling out our ancestors' name. So I was going back to the altars. You could build your altars. Get the pictures of your ancestors. Okay, remember, tobacco, very important. Sage, very important. If you knew their favorite dish, their favorite food, cook it for them and give it to them, offer it to them. You see what I'm saying? It is part of the laws of reciprocity. We cannot just call on to our ancestors and don't give them anything back in return. You see, a lot of us have the wrong conception about giving and receiving. A lot of people just want to receive and receive and receive and receive. Take, 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 take. That is not of our nature. That came from the other side. So you have to honor, and by giving gifts to the ancestors. They are alive and well. Okay, they're not in the ground like they so want you to think, buried and you got to go see them, bring flowers in the cemetery. No, they're not there anymore. They have already risen. That is the resurrection. Okay, that is the resurrection. All right, guys. Anyway, I guess I just extended to another 15 minutes, but I'm done. All right. So you guys have a good one, and we'll talk a little later. All right. Love you guys. Well, I guess I'm used to saying guys, but I love everybody. Okay. Put it that way. Take care. Have a good one.